Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Anthony Kim fans all over the world, welcome to the Golf Lovers United podcast. I am Golf Love UK and this is Pro Golf Critic, and we are going to celebrate Anthony Kim in all of his glory. We're also going to hold our hands up that we both thought that maybe going to the Four Aces this soon wasn't the right thing. We're allowed to be wrong, and addressing that we will, won't we?
Absolutely.
But we will eat our humble pie later. I've got a knife and fork for you and I, because we got plenty of it to eat. But we have reasons why we thought we were right at the time. Hey, but I think there can be no doubt. Everyone knows how much we love AK. We've spent so much time with him and like walked him for like 7 holes inside the ropes, and like the time he's given us. I cannot tell you.
We were there from the beginning.
Yeah.
You saw his first tee shots. I saw his
first tee shot on LIV. Before he'd struck a ball on the range at LIV, I'd been speaking to him on the range in at Royal Greens in Jeddah. I had time with him. He was so nice and so gracious, and he hadn't played golf. I think at that time someone said he'd had like 8 to 10 hours on the range before he'd come back to play on LIV. So I'd got to spend time with him in Saudi before he'd even struck a ball, saw his first ever tee shot. And I just want to say, I don't cry an awful lot, but when he sunk that putt and Bella, the first thing he did, he didn't even look anywhere else. He knew what was going to happen. He dropped his putter, turned to his wife and daughter. Bella ran into, I got goosebumps. Bella ran into his arms, and I can't lie, I welled up and tears started to roll down my face. And I'm going to say something now that haters will hate. For me, a bigger moment than Tiger winning in 2019, which at that point, Tiger winning 2019 was the biggest moment in golf for me.
Yeah.
Aside of some Ryder Cups, but individual golf. And for me, AK winning today was bigger than Tiger winning in 2019.
It was big. I mean, look, I won't quite say that. However, I'm not going to try to rank these, but there's a few moments that really stand out that like brought out the emotions for me. I think Tiger winning, even prior to the Masters, Tiger winning the Tour Championship and seeing the rush of the crowd sort of join him.
Yeah, like, that crowd following behind him. Yeah.
It was very similar to that. Like, it really was like, limited field, no cut event. People didn't think he could necessarily do it, and he finally broke through. So, there is very few moments that like have got me emotional about golf. And, I've been very critical of people crying for the wrong reasons when it comes to professional golf. If anybody shed a tear because of this, you totally have it's totally acceptable. I'm giving you a pass 100%. This was one of the great moments in golf history. I put it right up there with, Tiger's comebacks, with Phil winning a major for the first time and Phil winning a major when he was 50. And there's really not a ton of moments like this out there. Like, it was really, really incredible. And to feel like we've seen this story from the beginning, like it's been less than 2 years since he came back, which is crazy to think. So now we have some sort of a litmus test. If there's anybody else that goes away for 12 years and comes back, it's 2 years. That's how long it takes for you to potentially get back to where you were. But the whole AK scenario is just like, it's a movie. Like, it really is. Like, this is one of those things that's like so hard to even believe that it actually happened. Like, I'm still pinching myself that like this actually happened and I didn't dream this. Like, this is just like such
a lot of people were like few, I say a lot, maybe half a dozen people like, oh, I've not seen you comment yet. I'm like, I'm going to sound really daft. I got up, I watched it, and I didn't touch my phone, which is so odd in these days to not touch
sometimes
your phone.
You have to let it breathe. You got to let it breathe sometimes.
I enjoyed it, and when that putt rolled in with Bella, and I went back upstairs, asked my wife if she wanted a cup of coffee, made her a cup of coffee, made myself a cup of tea. I'm English, drinking a boatload of tea. Obviously, it's freezing cold here. I'm drinking tea now, and I then I was consuming other people's. I didn't want the joy to end, and it was almost like I felt like if I commented on it, like I'd burst my bubble of enjoyment, which I know it sounds daft, but I was just so in that moment of it. And it was amazing. We're going to talk a lot about AK as well, but what I do want to just say very quickly before anyone forgets about it, Ripper won on home soil. Ripper have won two in a row, and never ever have I ever thought an Australian team victory in Australia would get less attention.
I know, like, that is crazy.
Unbelievable.
That is so crazy. It's like, yeah. I mean, I was really speechless. I mean, I still am to a certain extent. You know, shout out to the Four Aces though. Like, I gotta give them full credit, and I do have to own up to this. Like, you know, I spent time talking to the Four Aces GM, Chris, the last couple of weeks. You know, talking about what some of the plans were when Patrick Reed, because everybody, like, we've already talked about Patrick Reed leaving when he did was something no one saw coming. It was something that kind of caught a lot of people off guard, including a lot of the Four Aces staff. So because they had already sort of agreed in principle to bring him back, and then when that sort of changed, you know, they had to kind of come up with another game plan. And, you know, they'll be the first to admit, like, they looked outside of LIV first. So
that's not anyone who wants to pretend and it's some derision against AK. When P. Reed left, P. Reed was ranked top 30 in the world, whatever. He wins back to back on the DP World Tour. Is he 20th in the world? I can't remember. And so naturally, the first place you're going to look is you're going to look externally. You're going to go, is JJ Spawn interested? Is Daniel Berger interested? Is so-and-so interested? That's not a slight on AK. But at that point, AK, it was prior to the season. So no one knew how AK was going to play. And after the first event, where look, AK played really well in the first event, but they were still looking at results, and arguably AK then played himself into that by getting that T20 seconds. So look, it's the Four Aces who were trying to replace a top 20 player, a top 30 player in the world with someone who was between 20th and 50th, and they were right to look at that. The fact that AK's proven how great he is, oh my God, he's come back, is a testament to how amazing he is. But for us to say, well, maybe they should have looked or understood they were looking elsewhere. I never said that I didn't think AK should play on there talent-wise. My comment was, and I'm obviously wrong, but my comment was, I wanted him to focus on his personal game and not be tied up with team what do I call it? Team activities like promotions, like filming.
100%.
When they do the reaction thing where they got to grab the little sticks that fall, or they do a putting competition or a chipping competition. All of that stuff is great, and look, he's going to love it and be great at it. But that moment in time, I was like, I don't know if that's what he needs. It turns out that A, his game's brilliant, and B, being in a team with people around him, loving him, helping him, was the extra jump he needed. And you actually pointed out, for anyone who wants to criticize you, you said the one reason you would want him to join the Four Aces straight away was to have someone help him with travel, with logistics, with all of that sort of stuff. So 100%. Look, you and I both got it kind of wrong, but for legitimate reasons. I'm happy to... But it's not like we didn't want him to be amazing. If you said to me at this beginning of the season, which one player do you want to win an event more than anyone else? Everyone who knows me would have said it'd be AK.
Kim easily.
AK. Everyone knows that. Like, yes. I adore the bloke. Like, I've been a defender since before the first ball he hit. When I met him on the range in Jeddah, he couldn't have been nicer. He didn't know me from Adam and Eve, and he couldn't have been more kind. And you just think he just got off that bloody plane, taken in a big black private car straight to the golf course. He's with Greg and a few others. One of the first people he meets on the range is this bold bloke here. And he couldn't have been kinder or nicer. And like, we've been on his team. So we had reasons why we didn't think the Four Aces was the right fit now. But if anyone wants to go back and listen, I think they'll all see that I said he should join a team in week 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 after he's got his first few events under the belt. That was always
when he's ready. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Turns out he was ready. It turns out he was ready event 2, not 4.
Multiple things can be true. This is the thing that like people always want to make things binary, and it's like there's so many layers to this situation. So one of the things you and I are super passionate about, as well as every LIV fan, is that we want the entire league to up level and strengthen. We also have to say here that like one of the things that was the domino effect of Anthony Kim coming into the Four Aces was that we didn't necessarily bring in someone new on to LIV that could potentially elevate the league. So we just wound up taking away a wild card player. Now we have a new wild card player that came in, Miguel Tabuena, who is a very, very good player. Don't get me wrong, except you and I and every LIV fan, we want to bring in another. Whenever you lose a world-class player like a Patrick Reed, you want to bring in another world-class player to complement the players that you already have. Anthony Kim was always going to be on LIV this season. That wasn't going to change, whether he was a wild card or he was a member of a team. That wasn't going to change. The key is the domino effect of bringing in the next guy to be that 57th player. And let's be honest, Miguel Tabuena, even though he had a reasonable showing last event for the Aces and then this event in Adelaide, he is not on the level of a lot of the people that we've been talking about. The Daniel Bergers of the world, the JJ Spawns of the world, the Sepp Strakas of the world, the Ludvigs, Hovland, all these other guys. He's not on that level. Miguel Tabuena would be the first to say that. So that's part of the reason why we were hoping that like they would bring in someone from the outside, because like we want LIV to sort of up level more than most people. Now, the ironic part of this is I think Anthony Kim winning this as a part of the Four Aces has up leveled LIV to heights that we haven't seen yet. Like I kind of made the joke on social media that like the Four Aces strapping the Four Aces A on Anthony Kim's chest was like Superman strapping the S on his chest, because it just like all of a sudden you saw his play elevate, and that's not something any of us expected. We have to be honest. Like Anthony Kim, his best result on LIV in 2 years is tied for 22nd, and that was just last week. So this is something that sort of kind of came out of nowhere. Like everybody knew how hard he was practicing, and like he was getting close to the level that he was at when he was a top 10 player in the world. Like he was getting to that level, even though he was only ranked prior to Adelaide, he was 847th in the world. Now he's moved up to he's going to be around 200 in the world, which like starts to like put him in another category.
Depending on a couple of devices and a couple of strength of field, it's saying it says between 201 and 212. So
that's about it's about right.
And then
about right.
If
it's his highest rank since July 2012.
Yeah, if he gets 2 more top 8s, 2 more top 10s, he should get to about 150th. If 2 of those are top 5s, he could play himself into that top 128 players in the world and maybe see him get himself an invite to the PGA Championship. And I tell you this now, this bold prick will be on a plane to America if he's in the PGA Championship. I know enough people who can get me a ticket. I am going.
I've seen people in the mainstream golf media talking about Fred Ridley and Augusta National needs to extend a special invite to Anthony Kim to the Masters this year. So, which like I thought was like, kind of completely out of the possibility. But now it's like you give him another couple events. Like, I mean, he could very well win another event. They're going to have 3 consecutive events in March. Like if he wins 2 more, he could very well get into the top 50 and get into the Masters on his own. So
it's highly likely it's highly likely because how hard it is to win a golf tournament. He doesn't win another one this year, but it's also highly likely that he can get 5 to 6 more top 10/tied 10th positions that get him a world ranking points. I'm going to come back to Anthony Kim. I want to talk about some stats in a minute, but I just want to go through a few of the. Go on.
Yeah. I mean, I think this sort of ties into your going through the field. Like we also we haven't mentioned at all who Anthony Kim was paired with in the final round.
We're going to do that. So Anthony Kim started 5 shots back of Jon Rahm and Bryson.
Yeah. And he's
5 shots. Also, by the way, hang on 1 second. Before we talk about Anthony Kim, before we move on, Anthony Kim winning has rightly overshadowed a lot of things, but he shot 9 under.
Yeah, 63.
Like, it's not like he won with
course record.
It's not like he won on a final day with like a 4 under, kept in touch. He shot a lights out 9 under, joint tied round of the week.
No one touched it. It played so much harder Sunday too. Like there were a lot more scores over par Sunday.
So Ben Campbell tied him 9 under on round 2. Yeah. So
but it played so much easier round 2. So much easier round 2.
But regardless, they both got 9 under, and it's anyway, I want to just talk very quickly about Jon Rahm and Bryson. Jon Rahm is just a machine. Bryson is one. Bryson, when he gets in that role, that flow state, it's almost like he's cheating. He gets into that position, and then he shoots 2 over today, and I look again. There's the videos out there of me spending time with Bryson. I've talked to him. He loves golf. He's obsessed with it. I do sometimes wonder. I don't understand sometimes what happens with that thought process, because it's almost like when things start to unravel a little bit. Who's a player that you could say? Padraig Harrington is a great example of a player. And when the wheels would come off a little bit, he knew how to keep them on. He didn't compound a bad luck or a bad shot with a bad choice. And Ernie Els is very similar.
Prime Tiger
is very similar. I do sometimes wonder with Bryson, he's got so much talent. And that round, on that third round, he made golf look like, Christ, if the putter
9
had
birdies
been hot,
out of 11 holes.
Mate, if that putter had been hotter, he could have been 10 or 11 under on in that third round. Like, it was just, I sometimes think, I don't know, but anyway, Rahm, let's just list the top 12 players for the debt round. Who Anthony Kim beat: Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Tyrrell Hatton, Peter Uihlein, who we'll talk about Peter Uihlein in a minute. Talk about another comeback story. Like, we love Pete, but Christ, no one saw Pete going third, 2 events in a row. Lucas Herbert, amazing, played brilliantly. Dean Burmeister, amazing. Cam Smith, who looks to be back being Cam. Sebastian, by the way, guys, I don't give out betting advice, but I am just going to tell you this. I have made great money 2 weeks in a row back in Munoz. I backed Munoz 2 weeks in a row to finish top 10. That's been my bet. £50, Munoz finished top 10. It is like printing cash. It is the easiest bet you will ever place. Brandon Grace, again, great. Mark Leishman, Abe Ancer, Joaquin Neiman. Those are the players he beat who were in that top 12 or top 10, tied 12.
Good leaderboard.
That's a great leaderboard. Yeah. A few of the names I think we should shout out. Matt Wolff. Matt Wolff had a stinker in the first event up in Riyadh. Had an absolutely brilliant couple of days here at Adelaide. So tied 14th. Was really good.
Got him off of the Mito meter right now. We've got him off of Mito watch.
Yeah. He's off the Mito meter.
For now.
Yeah, for now, yeah. And then you got players like G-Mac, who had a great round. G-Mac's just playing some, like, he's just aging really well. Like, he had finished 27th first event, finished 14th this. He's looking really good. G-Mac. Yeah, there's some players in there that played really well. DJ's frustrating. He just looks like he looks so close to everything clicking. But it's just like there's that 0.5% that just isn't quite. Yeah, isn't quite clicking.
Yeah, his second round, DJ, like, I follow DJ, obviously, Forces are my team, everybody knows. DJ, he's had one round or just a couple bad holes that have sort of kind of taken him out of contention a little bit. Like his second round was definitely one. Like he made a double on the par 5 7th, which was like just a total killer. And he made a bogey prior to that and a bogey after that, which just like totally kind of took him out of the mix a little bit. And then he makes eagle on 9 and like makes 3 birdies on the back 9. So like if you just take out like that little stretch of bad golf, like he could have elevated and sort of been in the top 10. Like he finished T17, which isn't bad. Except he just has like a couple holes, just like a really poor stretch that sort of takes him from that like top 5-ish, like all the way down to T17. So like I think DJ is close. Like he's gonna. So one of the other people that I think is going to win a LIV event this year is DJ. And I think we're starting to see signs of it. Like he's playing well. If he could just like eliminate these poor stretches of golf, like he'll be fine. Or just like manage that poor stretch where instead of him making a double on a par 5 or double bogeys, he can sort of scrounge out a par or just turning doubles into bogeys. Like that's going to make a huge difference. So I think DJ's going to do that moving forward. He's going to win a LIV event this year. TBD when that is. I kind of have an inkling which event it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say it until the event gets here. So shout out to DJ though. Shout out to all the 4 aces too. Like the aces have finished on the podium 2 straight weeks. So and that's with all the uncertainty about Patrick Reed leaving. Like I mean, I got to give the aces full credit. You sort of bring in Tobuena last week, Anthony Kim this week. It's obviously panned out. They were 3 shots out of getting the win and getting to a playoff with Ripper. So yeah, shout out to the aces. Shout out DJ. DJ commented on AK earlier in the week as well. Was super excited about it. And yeah, this seems like the move that's like really catapulted AK to the next level. And like we haven't even talked about AK almost didn't even play in this event because of his visa issues. Like that was one thing that was going to keep him out of this. So yeah, just a really exciting event in Adelaide.
We've already done Ripper, but Ripper didn't just win this week; they won last week. So Ripper are top, two first places in a row. No shade to Matt Jones, but their worst player this week was Elvis, who finished in 27th. A big shout out to our wild cards in Scott Vincent. Scott Vincent's doing everything he can to lock up a LIV card for next year as quick as he can. Like Scott Vincent's been absolutely superb. Like it's so hard to just put into words how tied 13th last week, tied 24th this week. Scott Vincent in 20th. Yusuke Asagi 24th. Shout out to as well. We're not going to do the whole card, but Ian Poulter finishing tied 27th, showing there's plenty of life in him. But the Majestics didn't have a good week again. They are struggling. Ben Schmidt was the second best Majestic and tied 44th. Laurie and Sam both in 53rd and 56th. Laurie Cantor out of nowhere, like was playing really well. Then out of nowhere on the third round, shot 7 over. Like
yeah,
he was. Yeah, he was. After 2 rounds, he was 14th and 15th, and then shot 7 over. So look, there's obviously loads of stuff to work out for a lot of different teams. But I want to have a quick look, just in the standings, the overall standings on the Mito meter. I'm just gonna mention everyone in the drop zone, and you tell me if you've got a concern about them. Luis Massivo.
Yes, concerns. I think he'll start playing better as the season goes on. Like he's still getting acclimated. So, and he's a young player, so he'll have a couple
Lahiri.
Very surprising, 50th. No concerns about Honorbon just yet, except that's one to kind of keep an eye on as time goes on for sure.
Victor Perez. I'm not concerned because he had 54th the first week and he was tied 27th this week. Like he wouldn't even be anywhere near the lock zone if he'd got like a 30th or a 40th in the first week.
Yeah, I think he's getting used to it. He's still getting used to it.
Ben Schmidt, he's come in for Lee. We don't expect Ben to be playing next event if Lee's fully fit in Hong Kong. Bubba Watson, again, much better performance this week.
A little bit.
Laurie Cantor was amazing last year.
Yeah,
I
surprising.
love Laurie to bits. You take that really weird, random 7 over out of that scorecard, and
it's much better.
And Laurie's nowhere near the locked in. He went bogey, double bogey on the 4th and 5th. Like they're holes that he would normally eat up. So yeah, it was just a very random sort of round from Laurie. And then Miguel Tabuena, look, he was a reserve. He's now a wild card. He's in.
He's in for the season. It sounds like. So,
he's in for the season as a wild card. Yeah, that's confirmed.
Yes,
that's been confirmed by LIV and by him. So he's not a reserve. He's in for the season as a wild card. Obviously, AK's gone from wild card to a player, so that's really good.
Let's talk about Tabuena really quick. Like, he finished third on the international series standards. Like, he was really, really close to sort of getting a wild card for the full season. Finished third. Now, because of AK moving into the Aces, they basically looked at the international series standings from last year and bumped up. Whoever was in third. So yeah. So I get that.
It's fine.
I get that. However, he didn't really earn his spot, and it kind of took a turn of events to get him in here. So TBD if he actually deserves to get it.
He didn't earn his spot, but unless you're going to bring back Kazuma, the only player you can bring it. Yeah, I agree. The only player you can bring in is either whoever finished 4th at the qualifying event, but it's not possible really to work that out.
Yeah, because there were too many ties. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I would have picked.
So the only person you can bring in, without being accused of anything, is the next guy up in the international series standing. So I have no issue with him coming in. I would have brought back Kazuma first, but if you aren't going to bring back Kazuma, Cam Tringale, are we worried about Cam? Tied 41, now 57th this week. So are we worried about Cam?
Well, I mean, with the high flyers, I think that they've obviously they haven't had Phil for the first two events. I think Phil is really the glue. I mean, obviously the holds the team together. I will reserve judgment on any of the high flyers for the most part until Phil comes back. So we'll see what happens with the high flyers. They need to step it up. Cam Tringale is much better than what we've seen in his first two events. But I mean, finishing dead last in Adelaide is a little bit of a red flag. So yeah, he's not on my. There's another player on my Mito meter that we're gonna get to,
and that's player Sam Horsfield, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Sam Horsfield, super talented guy.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, when I watch people pound balls on a range, like, there's a few people that I'm just like, I don't understand how your results don't transfer. Like Sam Horsfield on the range, like Sam Horsfield when you're watching him in practice rounds and like in the pro, like Sam Horsfield, he's so talented, but it doesn't seem to be. Look, early in the year, who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I'd just like to see a little. I'd like to see the Sam that I know that he can play like. Bring that, but it's hard to say that because we know they're all good players. Shout out to Wade Ormsby, old bloke, rock star, turns in a tied 37th. Like, I love Wade. He's just a great bloke, just a great guy to sort of have around, and he's look. I love Wade. I love seeing Wade play well. Also, like off the he knows that course like back of his hand, and bit of nerves, bit last minute being put in to shoot a roller coaster 1 over in that first round. So 3 birdies, 4 bogeys, then settled into it with a 5 under, 1 under, 1 under. Yeah, it's been a fantastic week of golf, and we've gone through the card in detail. Not that we need to, but
pretty much.
It's interesting to see what's going to happen now. We got a couple of weeks to Hong Kong, but I know that we wanted to talk a little bit about some statistics.
Yeah. Before
some of these statistics are insane. Like fairways hit, Ben Campbell 44 out of 56 was incredible. Anthony Kim, greens in regulation, 83%, 60 out of 72 greens.
Always been
in regulation.
Always been his strength.
Scrambling, when he didn't hit the green, he was second in scrambling with 75% success rate. So when he did miss a green, he got up and down. Like, it's unbelievable.
It's really unbelievable.
Those are two stats that go well together, aren't they? Hitting the green, and then when you don't hit the green, you get on it anyway.
Yeah, no, it makes up for the fact. Look, Anthony Kim has definitely picked up a little distance since he's been back. However, strokes gain wise, he did lose a slight number of strokes off of the tee. He was only 32nd in the field and sort of strokes gain off the tee. However, strokes gain approach, he was number 3, so he was elite, elite as far as irons go. He was number 8 around the green. He gained 3 shots around the green, which is amazing, which is also elite. And then strokes gained putting. Like, I mean, we saw that final round. I mean, he was a machine on the greens when he shot 63. I mean, he was just making everything. He was fist pumping. He was joking in the press conference because honestly, like, I saw a lot of that 23-year-old kid come out again. He's like, yeah, I need to not do that again because I swear on one of those fist pumps, it was like I busted a hip or something because, when you're 40 as opposed to 25, I mean, things don't quite move the same way that they used to. So especially for him with the amount of surgeries that he's had and everything. But yeah, just seeing him move in that same way, like he was at the Ryder Cup beating Sergio in 2008, like a lot of those same mannerisms came out. It was just like so cool to see. But yeah, putting, like elite putting, elite short game, elite iron game. If you have all those things, you're going to win a lot of tournaments, even with sort of not being great off the tee. So yeah, shout out to Anthony. We can't shout out Anthony Kim enough. Like, we spent the majority of this podcast talking about it. However, we can't give him enough flowers. Like, this is such a great story on the course, off the course. Just, I feel like I could talk about Anthony Kim for hours. Like, this is just been amazing.
I'm just gonna get on the Laurie, who's hitting it so well, did well week 1, had that random round. So Laurie was top 3 in fairways hit this week, but was bottom 7 in greens in regulation. So there was obviously some approach play issues for him. Those are the type of weeks that come and go, aren't they? Those random weird approach play weeks.
It can happen. Everybody, you got to take out an outlier here or there, and can't let that totally dictate the entire year. So yeah, there's always going to be an outlier event, an outlier round, something like that. So yeah, I don't lean too much into it. We're so early into the season. However, I think you can start to glean a few things from like the very top and the very bottom for sure.
Yeah, and then obviously we just had we had on the DP World Tour, we had the Qatar Masters, which was won by Paddy Reed, by P. Reed.
Prior to moving on, before we sort of close the book on Adelaide, I do want to mention this is something that was confirmed earlier in the week that I tweeted about. It looks like this is going to be the last year of the Grange Golf Club, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. 2027, they're staying in Adelaide, but they're moving to Kooyonga Golf Club, which is, I've had so many Australians reach out to me over the last week, just raving about Kooyonga. So I'm excited to see this golf course. They're a little concerned about the sort of infrastructure there in terms of it being able to hold as many fans as the Grange, and like how they're going to incorporate the concert aspect and all that. It'll be very interesting to see how that pans out. So they're going to Kooyonga next year. 2028 is still a little bit of a wild card. They're not entirely. There's a reasonable chance they come back to the Grange 2028, and then 2029 they're going to move the event permanently to the new golf course this being built in North Adelaide, that's being constructed specifically to hold the amount of people that they want to have at this particular event. So, I mean, because the Grange can hold a lot of people, it set the record for the most amount of people that have ever seen an event in Australia. They're estimating 115,000 over the course of the week, which is a few thousand more than the Australian Open that had Rory McIlroy and Cam Smith just in December. at Royal Melbourne, which is like a huge event too. So this event has really become the premier event in all of Australia. I'm really curious to see how things continue to evolve now that they're going to be moving away from the Grange. I think the Grange has been I love the Grange. Like, it's really grown on me over the course of the last few years. Like, just seeing how the players attack it. There's so much strategy off of the tee coming into the greens. Short game, there's a variety of shots you could play. It's a really interesting course. So, and they say that Kooyunga is even better. So I'm really excited to see Kooyunga next year.
You said a doubt on whether it comes back to the Grange after is because whether the new course will be ready in time. Is that the doubt? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They have not announced 2028 just yet. There's a chance that they continue Kooyunga the next year, or maybe go back to the Grange, or maybe the new course is ready like a year earlier than anticipated. Seems like it's going pretty well as far as planning goes, except you just never know how these things can go. So I'm glad that they're sort of waiting to sort of see.
You need 2 months of adverse weather conditions just to put something back on that type of thing. Like yeah. Let's move to DP World Tour. I just want to talk. We didn't. I feel bad. We didn't talk about the Bahrain Championship. That's one even before Patrick Reed won in Qatar. I watched that. Freddie shot. What a player that young man is. Freddie shot is absolute. I watched it. It was so good. And that Bahrain event, it's one of those weird ones. It's kind of nothing surrounding it. No one watching it. Like there's like, it's just like maybe 65, 80 people there. But Freddie shot, what a player. So if anyone wants someone to watch out for on the DP World Tour this year, besides P. Reed, keep Freddie's shot in mind. He's superb. And then P. Reed winning again in Qatar. So Paddy got two wins in 3 events. We're in the Hero Dubai Classic and then winning in Qatar.
European Tour fans, I'm dropping the DP World for a variety of reasons that we'll talk about some other time. European Tour fans,
yes.
Like, you're going to be really fortunate to get Patrick Reed this year. Like, I mean, he loves supporting the European Tour. It's one of his favorite things to do. You're getting high level Patrick Reed. Obviously, we've already seen him win 2 events. He's already like really far out in front when it comes to the race to Dubai. He's basically guaranteed that he's going to graduate from the European Tour to the PGA Tour next year, which is, I know, part of the path that he wanted to take. Not that he had to really worry about it, because he's going to have he's going to get into events on the PGA Tour. PGA Tour wants him back. There's no question about it. They want him as a villain, which, like, he fully understands sort of the role that he plays in professional golf globally. And like, he's really like, I think he's going to be a thorn in Rory McIlroy's side going forward, because he is setting the pace on Race to Dubai. Is going to make it very hard for Rory to overtake him if he continues to play the way that he's playing, because he's going to play in 2-3 times more events than Rory will this year. So it's going to be very hard for Rory to overtake him if he continues to play this way. So yeah, shout out P. Reed. Like,
P. Reed's not not currently on the entry list for Kenya. Just so you're aware, he was. I think he was, but he's not on the entry list at the moment for Kenya.
Really? Yeah, because he had announced that was going to be the next event.
Ben Schmidt is back on there. So Ben Schmidt, obviously jumping back off a LIV, having done his 2 weeks for Lee. Yeah, I'm looking at the entry list, and he's not on there.
Yeah, he isn't playing. Yeah, good call on that. He's not playing in Kenya. However, he is playing in the South African Open the week after that. So instead of playing both of those events, he's only playing the South African Open. So yeah, good shout on that. Yeah, he'll be there. Eugenio will be there.
And he's also playing in the Joburg Open the week after. So Patrick Reed is playing based on entry. So he's playing the South African Open on the
South African Open is gonna have like it looks like all the God, I keep wanting to call them Stinger guys, but all the Southern Guards guys. It's Clean Dean Burmester is gonna be there. Charles Schwartzel is gonna be there. Jaden Shaper, who's also won twice on the European Tour the past year. Former Stinger and Henny Duplessis is gonna be there. Brennan Grace is gonna be there as well. So no Louis, it looks like. However, all the other 3 Southern Guards players are going to be at the Investec South African Open. That leads into a really interesting stretch on LIV where you have Hong Kong, then we have Singapore per usual, and then the new events in South Africa, playing 3 in a row. So some of these guys are going to be playing 4 events in a row, including South African Open. So yeah, should be fun. Should be fun. And the winner of the South African Open, they're part of the Open series that the Masters and the RNA have. So the winner of that automatically gets an invite into the Masters and the Open Championship as well. So should be a big event. I'm excited for it.
And obviously, you've got enforced right now on the PGA Tour. You've got the AT&T at Pebble Beach. Oh, I was watching it earlier after I finished playing golf. The weather there, Christ, it's like a 9 club wind, and I don't know how many gloves they're going to go through. Oh,
yeah,
it's
windy, rainy.
I do love every now and again to see it.
Yeah,
it feels like it's 3 weeks too early. It feels like it's 3 weeks too early.
It's the worst time of year to have this event because Northern California weather this time of year can be very hit miss. It's the only time of the year where there's rain and wind and potential storms. 6 to 7 months out of the year, I mean, really 8 months out of the year, there's no chance of this happening. And it sounds like in the potential revamped PGA Tour schedule, sounds like they will probably wind up moving Pebble to a later date, which is like, it makes so much more sense to have this even in like April, May, June, or August for a playoff event. Makes way more sense than having it in January, February like they usually do. So look, I love Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach is like my second favorite golf course on the entire planet. I love Pebble Beach. I've been fortunate enough to play it a bunch of times, probably 10 to 12 times in my life. I love it every time that I go there. But man, I gotta say, after Adelaide, like, it's hard for me to pay that close attention to Pebble Beach. It really is. Like, the crowds are people want to talk about LIV crowds. The crowds at Pebble Beach are a total wine and cheese crowd. Like, there's not that many people. It's very quiet for the most part. People are mostly walking their dogs on the beach there. Like, it's not exactly a place for like really intense crowds and sort of a lot of crowds because they don't really have a ton of infrastructure either. So yeah, Pebble Beach is what it is. It's been on the PGA Tour now for God knows how long, like probably 89, 90 years. But it's a great course to watch, great visuals. We'll see who's able to win. Shout out Akshay. It sounds like he's been playing really well. Colin Morikawa has been playing well again. Good to see those two guys. I was joking that the leaderboard looked like a LIV Invitational. So
and also really good to see the Riviera back at Riviera after everything happened after the last year in California and the fires. So I love this is going to really annoy people to say we never talk about other golf. I really love Riviera. Like, it's on my top 10 course in the world I want to play. I love it. I think
fortunate
it's
enough that I played it. Great course. Love the purest Poana greens.
You said it was tough though, didn't you? You said it's a tough day out. It's a tough course.
I mean, yes, it's definitely not easy for sure. Depending on the tees that you play, obviously, but yeah, like, it plays a lot harder when it's sort of firmer and faster. Like, again, because of the time of year that they generally play it, it's probably the easiest time because it's wetter, it's not as dry, it's not running as fast. They've had a pretty wet winter in like all of California, so you're not going to see like too many places playing firm and fast this time of year. That's another event I'd love to see it later in the year because you get to see it sort of activates a little bit more of that course. Like when they played the US Am there, I want to say that was 2017 maybe, played completely different than what it does when the Olympics goes there in 2 years, because that's going to be the Olympic golf venue. It's going to be right there in late July, early August, which is like the perfect time to have it. They're going to have that place so dialed. Like, it is going to play like a major championship because it's going to be firm and fast. They're probably going to grow that Kikuyu rough up a little bit. And that Kikuyu rough is so sticky. Like, they don't have to grow it up to 6 inches. It could be 2.5, 3 inches, and it plays very, very difficult. So, yeah, it's a great course. It's one of my top 5 to top 10 favorite courses. I probably have like 20 courses in my top 5, but but yeah, great course. Love Rip.
Last but not least, I just want to cover off, obviously, on the PGA Tour so far. Chris Goddard up 4 events in, he's won 2 of them.
Scotty
feels
Stopper.
maybe feels like maybe Hideki threw that one away at the Phoenix. Whether he did or not, I don't mean to be horrible. Justin Rose rolling back the years and just showing that like he's just not aging at all. The Farmers, and obviously wouldn't be the PGA Tour without Scotty winning one of the first 4 events, and Scotty won the Pete Dye and La Quinta. So look, it's been a really good start to the year for all golf. DP World Tour's got stories, PGA Tour's got stories, LIV's got loads of stories. It actually feels like world golf's in a great place. And I look, outside of loving LIV, I actually think the golf landscape is better off for having 3 strong tours all competing. I actually think it's better for that. The only thing that I'm out on now, I'm completely out on TGL. The technology's not good enough. We keep seeing misreads. You keep seeing players moan about it. The guys from who are the guys do all the club reviews? My brain's gone blank. Club testing.
Oh, you're talking about My Golf Spy?
Yeah, My Golf Spy. The guy from My Golf Spy has done another deep dive into the full swing technology and how it's not good enough. And you can't keep having mishits. You can't keep having misreads. People are betting on it. Don't ask me to take it seriously if you're not going to use the best equipment. So I'm loving golf. I'm loving the PGA
Players
Tour.
now.
I'm loving DP World Tour. Obviously loving LIV, but TGL for me, I'm absolutely just not there on it anymore. I really wanted it to work. I really wanted it to work, as you know. I really tried.
Me too.
And in fact, it's just the tech that's destroying it for me. And then don't get me to get excited about the first ever Albatross, the first ever hole in one, because I don't trust the tech.
It's really 2 things.
I see the players' reactions enough to know the tech isn't right.
Yes. Oh no, you got to trust that more than anything else. These guys are so dialed with their equipment. They know how far their equipment goes 100%. Goddard has definitely gotten TGL. Quick TGL corner. I did want to mention and shout out TGL. I was fortunate enough, everybody knows that listens to this podcast, that I was in Florida for a week. I did happen to make it down to the SoFi Center and got a nice little tour of the facility. I mean, it's a really impressive facility. Like, it really is. I'll probably post a couple videos if I get permission to post it, which I still haven't got yet, which I may have to just do it anyway. So yeah, like, it's a really impressive facility. Like, you can tell they really put a lot of time and effort and money into all the infrastructure there, which is like another red flag to me, how you can invest that much time and energy and effort and not get the technology right. That's the one thing that you have to get right. There's really 2 things that you have to get right in TGL. These are my 2 biggest complaints. Everybody knows that we've been talking about this now for like 2 years. You got to get the technology right. So full swing has got to go. They got to bring in a TrackMan, or they have to bring in GC Quad. Those are the gold standards. Everybody knows those 2 are the gold standards. You need to use that. Second of all, the players. You have to start figuring out a way to integrate the players that have more personality. And the majority of those players are on LIV. I know people don't want to hear that. PGA Tour stands, TGL stands. They don't want to hear that LIV has most of the personalities in golf. Guess what? They do. So you got to start figuring out a way to bring in more players and like make these teams make more sense. Like, it makes no sense to me that Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry are not on the same team. Like, why wouldn't you put those 2 on the same team? That seems like a very basic thing that like Ripper got right from the very beginning of LIV, putting Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, 2 best friends from the same country. They've known each other forever, put them on the same team so that they give that team some sort of a chemistry, some sort of an identity. These teams have no identity just yet. Tiger's not playing, which is a whole nother can of worms. A lot of these guys, they don't seem that engaged in it. I think they need to take some more steps the next year to really get it to the next level, and they haven't done it yet. So TBD if they ever do.
But none of that matters if we don't trust the results from the balls hitting to the screen. And
tech is everything.
I wanted to love it, and
me too.
I can't
because sim golf is important. It's an important part of the golf landscape. There's so many players, so many people throughout the world. Sim golf is their life. I know there's a lot of people here in the United States and in the UK that like they don't get this, because it's like we're fortunate enough that we play in places that have like an abundance of golf courses that we can play. A lot of places in the world, they don't have that. So they gravitate towards simulators, and that's their interaction with the game. So it's an important part of golf. You don't have to like simulator golf. You can not like it while still acknowledging that simulator golf is an important part, which is part of the reason why TGL needs to up level, because it can be an important part in this whole sort of the global pie of golf. Like, it's only going to get bigger. TGL is an important part. LIV is an important part. PGA Tour is an important part. Asian Tour is important. European Tour. All these things are important. The majors are important. The Ryder Cup is important. PGA professionals are important. All these things are part of it. We just have to continue to try to grow it the best way that we can. And TGL is an important part, but they need to fix a couple things.
I'm just looking at Scotty Scheffler's round now. Christ, as I speak, Scotty Scheffler, he's 2 back, 7 under through 10. Like,
he might have me eating crow. He might have me eating crow, because I said, look, he's yet to win. He's yet to win a professional event on mostly Poana greens. Everybody knows how much I think that's an important thing, having confidence on Poana if you're going to play well on Poana. And he had a really bad first round. Like, he was like even par, I think. And he was like down. He was like in the bottom 20 of the leaderboard. And he's shot up since then. So yeah, well, maybe he has me eating crow today. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that pans out. I don't think he's going to win, but if he wins a Pebble,
his round is mental. He's gone birdie, eagle, birdie, par, eagle, birdie, bogey, par, birdie. Without that bogey, he's literally touching it. Right.
He's probably played that front nine downwind. Just really quick, he probably played that front nine downwind, so it played a little bit easier. Now he's making the loop and coming back. It's very hard to maintain that if the conditions are getting as bad as you say.
Oh,
so
mate, it was sideways wind and rain. Yeah,
that's probably the lowest he's gonna get. So it depends on the other guys that are still on the course. So we'll see.
Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and we're allowed to get things wrong, so go away.
Yeah.
Right,
did
take
we
care,
really
everyone.
get it wrong though? Did we really get it
wrong?
No,
we made our decisions on what we thought should be done. One thing you should do is go to shotscope.com and buy anything. Buy loads of stuff. Use Golf Lover at checkout for 15% off. We are the worst at doing reads.
No, you're one of the best. You get complimented on your ad reads all the time. You sort of randomly insert them.
I just forgot. I forgot today. I forgot. AK just had me so excited.
It's exciting. We got to find out what rangefinder AK and his caddy are using. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
it might be a shot.
We'll get ShotScope. Get ShotScope. Send him one. Right. Okay. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Bye bye.